Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here. We got another Washington football team weekly stream, and I got my guy Juan on here. Of course, make sure you guys check him out. Link is in the description. And yeah, basically today, it's game day, but it doesn't feel like game day. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not nervous or anything. It's a meaningless game, but still, nonetheless, we're going to talk about it a little bit. We're going to start off with some name talk, and then we'll get into the game discussion. Not really keys to victory, score predictions, but we're going to kind of treat it like a preseason game. We'll talk about, we're going to really talk about players we want to see today, players we want to see get more opportunities, and guys we want to see ball out, because there's a lot of young guys that are going to get opportunities today. De'Ami Brown, John Bates, Patterson, a bunch of guys. So we're going to talk about that mainly today, and then we'll get into some off-season talk. And then also at the end of the stream, we will get into we'll do our weekly NFL picks. How you doing, Juan?
I'm doing good, Pedro, man. It's been a hell of a season doing this every week for the most part. Again, not what we wanted this season to be like, obviously. But we got a lot of work to do this off season. This is the final game. Again, like you said, it doesn't feel like game day, it just feels like regular. Why that's why I don't have my jersey on. I may put it on for the game day live stream, but again, just doesn't feel like it, man. It's just like this is just a throwaway game to be honest. And it sucks because now we have to wait 9 months to watch this team again play meaningful football. I mean, 8 months if you want to count the preseason, but again, meaningful football won't start until another 9 months from now. So that kind of sucks. But again, man, I'm looking forward to this off season just for the simple fact of I expect us to do something because again, what first year you gave Ron time to get his foot in the door to I guess set his culture and whatnot, and then get some players. And then year two, you expected a little bit more, which he did with getting Curtis Samuel. William Jackson still wasn't enough. And this year, I feel like he's going to feel the pressure of having to not only get a quarterback, but get more weapons around his quarterback and solve positions like free safety. Just because I don't want to say we're a quarterback away, but like we have talent in this team honestly, in my opinion, is a quarterback away. I know a lot of people may not think that because you like, oh, we still need another linebacker, we still need free safety and whatnot. But let me tell you this: if we get a quarterback, I'm not saying those holes won't be a problem, but a lot of our problems would definitely go away if we get a franchise quarterback. So I honestly think we are a quarterback away, and I feel like Ron is definitely feeling the pressure of having to get a quarterback this offseason. And that could be good or bad because good for the simple fact of maybe we'll have our scout department get the right one, and bad to the point where we may reach for a quarterback that we don't want and we're just taking because we feel the pressure. And that's typically, I don't want to say that is like what's more likely to happen, but with this quarterback draft class not being the best, it's a high chance of that possibly happening. So that's where I'm at right now. And again, I appreciate you having me on for the whole season for the most part, and I look forward to doing this next year.
Yeah, definitely for sure. And I kind of agree with you. Like, obviously, if we get a franchise quarterback, we're not going to be like right away Super Bowl contenders. We still have holes, but we're going to be like right up there with the Cowboys. And I feel like a lot of fans kind of go like way too, like, I don't know, they overreact way too much. Like, after the season last year, we won 7 games. A lot of people thought, man, this team next year, they're gonna go crazy. And I was kind of like, I think we're gonna do better. I thought we were gonna do better than this. I was thinking more like 9 wins, maybe 10. And then this year, a lot of people after this disappointing season are saying, oh, this team sucks. We're gonna win. Ron Rivera needs to be fired. We're gonna do. We're a terrible roster, and that's not the case. Like we just. It's the case with most teams. You need a franchise quarterback. Besides quarterback, our roster is average, maybe even above average. Like, it's not bad. Like, we have a good offensive line. Even with all of our injuries this year on the offensive line, we're still like ranked top 8, top 9 in most metrics. So I'm feeling good about our offensive line. I'm feeling good about our tight end room. Logan Thomas looks good. John Bates looks amazing. He's, I think, the number one run blocking tight end in the NFL right now, according to PFF in his rookie year. I'm really liking John Bates. and he's developing into a pass catcher as well. And then you go, you might have Ricky Seals-Jones and you have Sanis Reyes there as well. So I really don't think they need to add anyone there. If they want to, I'm always okay with drafting a 4th or 5th round guy to add depth at certain positions. But I like the tight end room. Running back room could use some work. Maybe you add one more guy, but it's not like running back is an easy position to fill, especially when we're not looking for like the guy. We're looking for a complement, if that. So you can go in free agency, add someone Ronald Jones, or again, the draft, 4th, 5th, 6th round guy, running backs growing trees in the draft. You can do that. Quarterback, obviously, that's the big hole that we need to fill. It's going to be hard to, what I would say is, it's going to be hard to get Russell Wilson. It's going to be hard to get Derek Carr, any of those guys. I would like that. I would really like that. Some other options, veteran options, really, that I would be okay with. Don't want Trubisky, which could happen. I do not want Trubisky. Don't want Mariota. I would be okay with Winston or Matt Ryan. But here's the thing. With both of those guys, I'm not looking at those guys as franchise quarterbacks, max 1 or 2 year guys. If I'm getting any of those guys, I'm drafting a quarterback this year, sitting behind those two, or one of those two, because, having a guy sit behind Matt Ryan would be nice. I don't know. I wouldn't really give up anything for Matt Ryan. It would be more the case if he gets released, because he has a huge, huge cap hit. So if he gets released, his contract isn't going to be bad. And then on defense, D-line's good. I really think the coaching is the biggest problem there. I would get rid of Sam Mills and see how that looks. And, maybe you can move some things around. Maybe you can do a trade or two. But I feel good about the D-line. Linebacker is the biggest hole on the team besides quarterback, in my opinion. We need a middle linebacker there. And I think we're going to get one in free agency. And then, our corners are good, in my opinion. Cameron Curl's a beast, and then Bob McCain, if he comes back, okay. I don't really care that much. And one thing before we get into the name talk is I think there is right now. And what's up, King? Let me say hi to some people. What's up, King? Sean, what's up, Bentley? Godwin, what's up? iClockwise, what's up, Brian? My guy, what's up, Mav? And then 77, what's up, Brandon? Let's see, Fight for Old DC. Appreciate all you guys for coming through. So I do think there is a big gap between us and the Cowboys right now, and that's mainly because of the quarterback position. Once we get an upgrade there, the gap will be smaller. But I do not think there's a gap really at all between us and the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, if you think about it, they beat us by a total of, 14 points in 2 games, with literally in the first game, we had like a practice squad playing, really. We had Garrett Gilbert playing. We had like 15 guys on the reserve list, COVID reserve list going into that game, plus a bunch of guys on injury or on IR. And then we played them again, lost by 4, really could have won, and we still had a ton of injuries. And you really look at it, they're kind of doing what we did last year, feasting on these, trash quarterbacks at the end of the season. Jay Fromm twice. Heineke's not trash, but he's not a good quarterback in the National Football League. Him twice. The Jets, I can't remember who was the Jets quarterback when he played, but they're kind of doing what we did last year. And we had a first place schedule this year. They had a 4th place schedule this year. And we were just so injured. So I think next year we do need to upgrade the quarterback position and some other positions, but I don't think we're going to be too far behind the Eagles. Still think we will be, behind the Cowboys just because they do have a quarterback. But I'm not as pessimistic as a lot of Washington fans are right now.
Yeah, and I want to first address the comment by Bentley. He's basically saying, why have drafted a guy and have him sit and not start him right away like Justin Herbert? Well, first of all, last year Justin Herbert was originally supposed to sit. If you want to be honest, this was supposed to be Justin Herbert's rookie year. But Tyrod Taylor punctured a lung last year and he thrust in the fire, and it was just so happened that Justin Herbert was amazing. So not every quarterback comes in ready to start. And me personally, again, I would prefer us to draft a guy just because, I would love Russell Wilson. He's my favorite NFL player, as a whole. I would love us to trade for Russell Wilson. I would love for us to possibly trade for Deshaun Watson, Derek Carr, but that's not likely. And then on top of that, I want my own guy. Like it's not gonna be Deshaun Watson. And let's just put that out there. But if he was like one of the guys that we were to get, that's probably the only veteran I want because he's still pretty young and he still could be your guy. I would love Russell
Who?
Wilson, but he's
Russell
32.
Wilson?
You know what I'm saying? He's 32, 33. And obviously Derek Carr is 30-ish, and those guys, they're not. I want my own guy. Like I want my guy that I could, have for the next decade plus and grow old with. You know what I'm saying? I don't want a guy, and obviously having Russ, you probably will have him for the next 7 years or so, because these quarterbacks play up into their late 30s, early 40s. But again, in 7 years from now, and then you could say, well, you worry about that when you get there. But in 7 years from now, you're back at square one where you're having to draft the quarterback. So I would honestly just prefer us to draft our own guy. And as far as like the roster as a whole, yeah, I think running back position is fine. If we re-sign JD McKissick, if we don't re-sign JD McKissick, then you have to go out and get another guy. But if we re-sign JD, I like my three backs, especially Jared Patterson. That's my guy. I expect him to get a lot of work today. Wide receivers is another position that I think they should at least look to upgrade. Not necessarily saying they should do it, only because their only defense is, well, we were injured at the wide receiver position. Our guy that we paid the most money to, Curtis Samuel, didn't play at all this season for the most part. So we don't know what we really have. De'Ami Brown, we expect him to be better in his second year. So I honestly, if it was up to me, I would probably sign another free agent or draft a guy. But you got to think about it like this. First of all, we got to take care of our own receiver in Terry.
Oh yeah.
And let me put that out there. We assume that Terry has to get paid this all season. He doesn't. We still have one more year with Terry, but again, when you have guys like Terry, you don't allow them to go into their final years of their contract unpaid. So you want to get Terry out the way. But again, and not even with Terry, we already invested so much in the wide receiver position. As far as signing Curtis Samuel last year, so I don't think they double back 2 years in a row of signing big time free agents. So I think honestly, if we get another receiver, it may be through the draft. But looking at it from an early standpoint of no drafting or nothing, I think my five receivers are obviously Terry, Curtis Samuel. Cam Sims is a guy that I think, because like last year, it was still talks of him possibly getting cut. I think he is a lock for sure. I just had it in my head too.
He's a free agent though. We need to re-sign
Yeah,
him.
I think that's what I'm saying. I think we re-sign him. De'Ami Brown. Well, let me put it like this. Put it in order: Terry Curtis, De'Ami, Cam Sims, and then I think my last one I forgot. I don't think it was Dax Milne actually. I think who was my
Carter?
No, because I have DeAndre Carter obviously making it due to special teams, right?
Humphreys?
I know, because I don't think we were re-signing him. I forgot who my fifth receiver was. I can't remember my fifth receiver, but looking at it from an early standpoint, those are really much my four locks. I think Cam Sims needs a little bit more respect because again, we're looking for that go up and get it kind of guy. We have that in Cam Sims. He just doesn't have the opportunities to show it, and when he does, he literally catches everything. So yeah, looking at it from the wide receiver standpoint, I think we're pretty. I wouldn't say we're fine, but again, we don't know what we have because for the most part, our receivers were injured, or our number two receiver was injured, and our other receiver is a rookie. We don't expect a lot from him. And you look at the tight end position. I'm fine like you with that, especially with Logan Thomas coming back. John Bates was amazing this year for the expectations that we had of him. I didn't expect much out of him. For the sole part of, I thought Logan Thomas was going to have 1,000-yard season. I really did. If not 1,000 yards, close to. But I really thought he was going to be up there with Travis Kelce and Darren Waller and all those top tight ends in the league. But again, injuries. Again, fine with John Bates. Fine with Ricky Seals-Jones, but you got to bring him back. I don't know if they do that. But again, I'm fine with the tight end position, to be honest. And then you look at the line. I don't want Brandon Sheriff back here. He wants too much money. He's always injured. Just give me Big West Schweitzer, man. He can do everything. And then for the most part, everybody else is fine. Just re-signed up. You just read up on Charles Leno, who I was okay with. I wasn't the biggest fan of the move just because it wasn't nothing bad. It was fine to be. It was okay. It was solid. But I just thought maybe you could possibly do better. But again, it's fine. It's not a terrible move because you could do a lot worse than Charles Leno. Left guard Eric Flowers, I'm fine. Chase Roulier, obviously, I'm fine. We re-signed Do we still have Tyler Larson? Is he a free
I
agent?
think it was a 1 year deal.
Yeah, I think we should re-sign Tyler Larson, obviously as a backup, and then because he was really really good when he before he got injured, and then the right side, put Wes Schweitzer over there.
Yeah,
If you want to draft another right guard, maybe, or that's fine a backup, but put Wes Schweitzer in. I think I think he did enough even last year to show that he
for
could be the
sure.
starter. I didn't even want Brandon Sheriff back this year, but they franchise tagged them, and I really didn't want him back this year. And then you look at the right tackle, obviously franchise right tackle is Sam Cosmi. So I think we're pretty much fine on the offensive side. Then you flip to the defense. Obviously, you already talked about the D line. I'm fine with the D line. Maybe get some better depth because again, you don't really want Casey Toohill out there. I mean, and again, they played a lot more than we wanted them to just because we had so many injuries. But again, with what I saw, I'm not the biggest fan of. Again, I wasn't the biggest fan of Casey Toohill going in there, but he's more of a run stuffer. We want guys that's going to get after the quarterback. I like Shaka Tony. That's probably the only one that I really like. I mean, James Smith Williams okay, but I'm not. He doesn't blow my socks off. But the reason why I like Shaka Tony is because I see the potential. I see what he could possibly bring if he has better coaching. And then you move on to the linebackers. Don't bum me Rotimi. I don't want none of those guys. I don't want Nate Orchard. I don't want none of these guys. Just maybe get another draftee, or just roll with what you got. To be honest, because you expect Chase Young and Montez Sweat to be carrying the workload. And then you get to linebacker core again. I think we need to draft a middle linebacker again.
For sure.
It's clear and pertinent.
Wait, can I say one thing real quick?
Mm-hmm.
With the middle linebacker, I would be okay with drafting one, but like from what I've heard, like especially from John Keim on his podcast, like they really want a veteran middle linebacker because Jamin Davis is still like learning things. Cole Holcomb is still like a young guy. They don't want like a rookie calling like the defense that doesn't really know what they're doing. So they're probably gonna look at a veteran guy to be their middle linebacker. Doesn't mean they won't draft if they can't get one of those guys, but I think they're first going to look at a veteran guy because they want a guy that can call the defense, and rookies early on usually aren't able to do that. You saw that a little bit in Jamin Davis, but really for Jamin, it was more like he's just not really a middle linebacker. He's more of a outside guy. But go ahead.
No, yeah. I was just about to say it's clear and pertinent that Jamin Davis isn't a middle linebacker, and that's okay. I still I'm loose on that assumption too, just because they don't play him as much. Like last week, why is David Mayo in the game more than Jamin Davis, our first round draft pick? I don't care that he's not ready. We're literally out of playoffs for the most part. We're fighting for our lives. It doesn't matter no more. So put the guy at middle linebacker to see what he has.
He better get all the snaps today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then you have Boston Scott across the middle. I'm not saying Jamin Davis would be able to stop Boston Scott across the middle, but I like my chances with a young Jamin Davis than a David Mayo. You know what I'm saying? So again, I say that loosely, but I don't think he's a middle linebacker. I'm not a fan of getting another veteran just because why? Just get a young guy, let him take his lumps and just go out there and play. I want young guys. I don't want John Bosticks. I want David Mayos. I mean, Bobby Wagner is maybe the only exception. I mean, the exception that I'll probably take, but I want young, fast guys. Let them take their lumps, and for an example, or not for an example, but does the middle linebacker? I know it's natural and that's the thing, but does a middle linebacker have to call plays? I like Cole Holcomb calling the plays. I like Cole Holcomb being the captain, I guess you would say. But again, I don't know if he has to play middle linebacker to do that, and if that's the case, then you don't want Cole Holcomb at linebacker. But then you go to the secondary. I'm cornerback. William Jackson, I'm fine with. Kendall Fuller, I'm fine with. Benjamin St. Juice, I was amazed with before the injuries. Then you look after those three. What's else after there? I was really intrigued to see what we could have got from Torrey McTyer. I wasn't expecting a lot from Torrey McTyer, but I really want to see because he had a really, really good preseason.
I totally forgot about him.
It was very unfortunate that he tore the ACL jumping for a Hail Mary versus the Falcons in week 4. But and then Corn Elder, I don't want Corn Elder back. Again, most of these guys are playing more than what they should be playing
For
just because we have
sure.
so many injuries and COVID. But again, I don't want these guys back. I don't want Cornelder back, I should say. I maybe want Todd McTire back again. I don't think he will, just because he had a detrimental knee injury. But I really did like to see what I saw from Todd McTire in preseason. Um, Danny Johnson, another guy who in my opinion is always disrespected. Like he's always on the verge of not making a roster if he doesn't. And it's just like he's so I just bit my lip. He's solid, like he's okay, you know. And then you go to the safety position. Free safety is a big question. What are you gonna do? I think you have to draft someone. And who are the top free safeties? I don't think you pay big money to a free agent for safety though, just because you have so much tied in to Landon Collins, even though he isn't a safety anymore. You have so much money left tied in Landon Collins. So I don't think they pay another big free safety that much money. So I think they go to draft out, and they have to. They have to. It's like they literally have to. It's like I know you see this on film. We're missing a big playmaking safety, free safety, game changing free safety, man. So it's literally they have to do this. Like if obviously quarterback is the number one option, but if there was another position where they have to address, like literally have to, it's free safety for me. Yeah, you could say linebacker, but again, you already drafted Jamie Davis last year, and you can get another guy in the third, fourth round. But I think our second round pick has to be a free safety. Like I really do, because we need a game changer free safety. I'm not the biggest Bobby McCain fan. He had a lot of explosive plays that he allowed over his head, blown coverages. I'm probably one of the biggest Cam Curl fans in this fan base. I love Cam Curl, so I think he needs a partner in crime. I think Cam Curl is your starting strong safety on the back end. He needs a partner in crime. And if we can get that, that'll be really, really solid. So that's my quick overview of the whole, team by position group. Now I
Yeah.
guess let's get to some name talk.
Yeah, and real quick, I'll just say, I mean, I agree with with you on most of the things. I would say, I think free safety, Bobby McCain's all right. I mean, he played well the second half of the season. I think getting adjusted to the system, but I agree with you. I still think bringing in another guy would be a good idea. I mean, the big name guy would be Kyle Hamilton coming out of Notre Dame. He's a dog. I mean, he would be my guy if we could get him, but I don't know if we're gonna have a high enough draft pick to get him. Let's see. What's up, Ed Oliver? And hey, I agree with everything you're saying right there. And let's get into that real quick
What's
before we
up,
get
man?
into the name thing. I mean, I see a lot of fans saying that we should not win this game. We need to get a higher draft pick. And I normally would agree, but I mean, do you we're on a 4-game losing streak, and of course, a lot of that has to do with injuries and the virus. But this game, zero excuses. If you lose and you end off the season on a 5-game losing streak and you lose to the New York Giants, who scored one or maybe one touchdown in the last 35 offensive possessions, that would be so pathetic. I mean, going out like that, that's why I want to win, because I mean, they're already going to have a sour taste in their mouth if they even if they win today. But if they lose, some of the players might be like, man, what am I doing here? I mean, we just lost the New York Giants, who are starting Jake Fromm at quarterback and whose whole team is injured. So I understand the people that do want to or lose this game to get higher draft pick. And hey, in 2 months, I might be like, man, why did I want us to win this game? I mean, we could have had the 8th pick and gotten Kyle Hamilton. But right now, in this moment, don't want to end off the season on a loss. It's going to affect our draft a little bit, but it's a few spots, right? It's a few spots, and it's not like we're going from 1 to 4. We're going from 9 to 12, and we can, if we want to get our franchise guy, we would have had to trade up anyway. So we can trade up a few extra spots. So I want to win this game. Joe Judge is a clown. I agree with James, agree with Ed. Want to win this game. I hate that guy. But honestly, I want him to stay though. I want Joe Judge to stay in New York.
Yeah. So I agree with most part. I don't know if you were just using it as an example, but I wouldn't draft Kyle Hamilton at 8. I don't think you need to draft a free safety in the first round. When's the last time we someone drafted a safety in the first round?
Derwin James
Was Jamal Adams a first round pick?
and Derwin James, yeah.
Yeah, and then what were their? I don't know. I don't even want to think about it. I was gonna say like what were their needs when they drafted those guys, but again, I just don't think you draft free safeties or safeties in general in the first round because look at our best safety, Cameron Curl, 7th round pick. You don't need to do that. That's I don't know if you just use that as an example, but me personally, I wouldn't do that. But again, yeah, I agree with everything. Again, I don't personally, and things is going to change when teams start to get desperate and we get closer to April 26 or whatever when the draft is. Things might change, and once we see these guys go to the combine and perform and whatnot, things might change. But as we sit right now, I don't think we need you don't need a number 6, you don't need a number 5, you don't need a top pick to draft one of these guys. These literally the first 2 picks are predicted to be the guy from Michigan, I think, and Kayvon Thibodeau from Oregon. I think it's the guy from Michigan. I know Kayvon Thibodeau is supposed to be number 1, but it's supposed to be 2 edge rushers. I don't know.
Yeah, Thibodeau and Hutchinson, and it was early on, it was like Thibodeau was going to be undoubtedly number 1 pick, and then he has a good season, but Hutchinson a little bit better. But Hutchinson didn't have a great game against Georgia, so maybe
no
those
one did from Michigan.
I
said no one did from Michigan, to be honest. But no, again, I've been seeing so many mock drafts that they literally don't see the first quarterback coming off the board until the 10th pick. Right.
Yeah.
So again, I don't think we need to trade up, guys. Again, like I said, it may change when we get closer to the draft. Teams start to get desperate, and these guys perform in the draft combine. But as of right now, we don't. I don't think we need to. Now, and if we do, so what? You're only trading up a couple spots, and if this is for your franchise guy, do whatever you have to do, man. This is your franchise guy. This is your guy for the next 20 plus years. So again, I think we're sitting pretty whether we win or lose today. Honestly, I don't care. I don't like Joe Judge. Joe Judge apparently called us a clown organization. I would love to hear that. I want to hear what he has to say. I haven't heard. I don't care about Joe Judge.
He kind of said we're not a clown organization. We're not fighting on the side. We're not fist fighting on the sideline. And he said that a day after our fight. One thing I wanted to say, just this is random, but I heard it on a podcast the other day, and I thought it was very interesting. And we'll after this, I promise we'll get into the name talk and a little bit of the game preview. But Dan Snyder's son, his son is a freshman in college right now. Jerry Snyder, spelled with a G. He is a D1 football player for Appalachian State. He plays tight end. I think they were in a bowl game this year, so that's just pretty interesting on its own, right? Him playing D1 football. But it gets better. Joe Gibbs, both of his grandsons are on that same team. So I thought that was just interesting that all those guys were on the same team. But, he is our only hope, Jerry Snyder, and from all accounts, he is nothing like his dad. He's a really, really good kid. That's just from even all the guys that hate this organization, and Tom Lavero, and not Kevin Sheehan, but those guys were both saying he's a good kid. So he's gonna be the guy that's the leader of this organization eventually. So that at least is hopefully he's okay, but it's gonna be a while. But I thought that was just a fun fact right there. 3 of those guys all on the same team, D1 football. So now on to the name talk. We'll talk about this for a little bit. So, and then we'll get into some guys we want to see ball out today. But name discussion. They revealed it, I think this past week on Tuesday or something, that they are going to reveal the name on February 2nd. And what's up, One Life Music? They're going to release the name on February 2nd, the logo, the jerseys. And they post a video, and everyone is speculating, oh, I see this logo. Oh, I see this reflection. My friend that works for my brother, whose sister knows this guy, said that the name is this because he works at Nike. All these rumors, everyone is trying to speculate. What I will say, and everyone's talking about, oh, there's Commanders on this, there's this on that. What I'm gonna say is unless it's a verified source, like it's a guy, John Kine, Ben Standig, JP Finley, an actual reporter or even a national reporter, I'm not believing it. Because like don't believe these guys on Twitter. And even if you see reflections, like I mean, I know this organization isn't the best and they've made so many mistakes in the past, but this is a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Mhm.
I don't think they're gonna allow a little reflection to show the actual name or like let the actual logo slip. Like I'm sorry, but I think they're doing that on purpose. So, hey, it might be Commanders, but like that logo you probably saw isn't the real one. So that's all I'm saying, guys. Don't really believe these things you're seeing on Twitter. What's up, Jairus? How you doing? But I just like don't believe everything you see on Twitter. What I'll say is front runners probably Commanders, but I've been
Mhm.
saying this for a while. I think it's going to be something totally random that we didn't think about, and that's what I want. As long as it's nothing bad, I kind of want that. And I think like the Seattle Kraken, they did a really good job with theirs. Like their name release, the K, right? It's like okay, but their logo's super nice. Their jerseys are nice. Like that's what I really, really like, and I hope we do that. And I think the logo and the jersey are almost as important as
Mhm.
the name. I mean, obviously you can change the logo and jerseys over time, but it's hard to do that. If we get an okay name but sick jerseys and a logo, that would be great for me. But think it's gonna be it might be Commanders, but also something totally random that no one's thought about.
Mhm.
How about you?
Oh, okay. Well, first, same. Shout out to Brian Harden. Same with me, man. The day the name release, Cam Curl's jersey goes in the shopping cart, man. Same here, and Jared Patterson for me too. So, shout out to BH, man. Both gonna be rocking that Cam Curl next year. But no, yeah. So for me, first of all, I don't even watch hockey. Only time I watch hockey is when the Capitals are in the playoffs. But other than that, I don't watch hockey. But I heard did see the Seattle Kraken. I think that might be one of the best names in all of sports. Like the Kraken, like that. That's just for me. I like that. That's a really really good name, Kraken. I like that.
And the
But
logos and jerseys are like really nice.
yeah. I like the Kraken. Sam. But no. Again, a lot of people, and I said this in my video, a lot of people were putting too much into the reflection of saying that gives them a tip of what the name is. It's literally just a W. Like, how does that give you some type of assumption of what the name is going to be? It's always going to be Washington, whatever. So just a W on the side of the helmet. How does that move the needle for you and say, oh, it's Commanders, it's this? Now, they did show, I guess, on the TV copy. I didn't watch the TV copy. I watched the YouTube version, and the YouTube version had it blurred out. But apparently on the TV copy, they showed the pants and they had Commanders on there. So again, we'll see, man. But I don't care what the name is because either way it goes, I'm gonna be a fan of this team,
For
whether
sure.
we're the Commanders or we're the Red Tails or whatever. I'm gonna be here. So again, it doesn't. I don't care that much into it. But again, I guess it will be cool when February 2nd comes, but I don't think Washington. I know they're a multi-billion-dollar company, but I don't think they're going to be able to hold it in for another month. I mean, it's only January 9th, man. You know how
Yeah.
much like leakage and stuff will happen. I think honestly, we may know the real name probably a week before the release day or
Yeah.
like a couple days before.
And
Honestly,
it could be really us just waiting for the logo and the jerseys. And I think it could definitely happen. I just don't think like they released it in the videos. You know what I mean? Like they accidentally leaked it in the videos. But like yeah, we'll see. But I'm fine with whatever as long as it's nothing crazy. I want the logo to look good, the jerseys look good, and I'm gonna probably buy a Jonathan Allen jersey. I got a Terry jersey right now. I got a Chase jersey, so I'm probably gonna get a Jonathan Allen
oh
jersey, but might change depending if we some. I don't think it's gonna happen, but if we get someone like Russell Wilson here,
yeah,
obviously,
yeah, no. I
obviously,
was just about to say
popping
that.
that jersey. It's not gonna happen, but just putting that out there. If
I,
it does, I'm getting, of course, Russell Wilson, whoever else big name quarterback we get.
Yeah, so this is like me. Cam Curl, Jared Patterson are my two right now, but hey man, if we get Russ, he automatically jumps in front. If we somehow get Deshaun, whoever we get, but the number one guy that's jumping in front of all those guys when because I already have Chase like you, I already have Terry like you. Number one guy, Kenny Pickett, man. Oh, give me, I mean, man. If we draft Kenny Pickett, the second his name is turned in, I might order it a month early. So when draft day comes, I could be wearing it. I want Kenny Pickett so bad, man. He literally he just looks like Justin Herbert. I mean, obviously he's not as good as Justin Herbert, but like he literally just looks like him. Two gloves. I just like Kenny Pickett. He's my favorite one out of this patch of guys. So man, just give me Kenny Pickett, and I'm ordering that jersey. If we draft Kenny Pickett, the day we like the second that card is turned in, man, it's going to my shopping cart. Cause but like you, whoever the quarterback is, I'm getting a jersey. Just cause like I want a franchise guy, man, and whoever it is, I'm getting this jersey. A lot of people got Dwayne Haskins jerseys. I apologize on his behalf because that didn't turn out well for you. But yeah, man, whoever we get, I'm getting a jersey because God, we need a quarterback.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get an Allen jersey, but if we do get a big name quarterback, might get them. Probably not gonna get a rookie just because like we never know. But I'll probably wait until at the earliest Christmas of next year, depending on how that rookie is playing. But yeah, I like just more importantly, uniforms and logo. And what's up, Skins fan all day? Appreciate you
Skins
coming
fan.
through. And yep, not a good season for us. Terrible start to the season. Really good little middle part, the bye week to the next 4 games, and then the virus hit us, injuries, and we just go downhill from there. Brandon says, "Where is the new stadium gonna be?"
2027. Oh,
Yeah,
where?
where I honestly don't know. It could be anywhere. It could be Maryland. It could be Virginia, DC. I mean, I want it to be in DC. I live in Virginia. I just don't want it to be in Maryland. Like I know Juan, you live in Maryland, but I just don't want it unless close. Like Landover is just way too far of a commute to get there. And I hope it's in DC. I just don't think it's gonna be in DC. How about you?
Yeah, man, Maryland right here, baby. Had to first of all throw that in there. Had to beat up on VV Tech, man. You know what I'm saying? But nah, me personally, since I like FedEx Field is terrible. It's probably the worst stadium in sports. Jalen Hurts literally I hate the Eagles and whatnot. A lot of like YouTubers and content creators were over exaggerating that whole incident. Like I've seen some guy that put Jalen Hurts nearly dies at FedEx Field. Like, are you kidding me, dude? Like, I don't know. Content creators are just crazy sometimes. But no, I live in Maryland and I the stadium is bad, but being selfish, I live so close to FedEx Field. It's like it's so it's so convenient for me from when I go because literally it's like not that far at all. Like it's literally right up the street to be honest. So yeah, that's the a selfish part of me, but the real part of me, I want it in DC just because like not only will it live up to its name, but like it should be in DC, like it should be in a city, like you know what I'm saying, like a city setting that will be like cars and statues around and stuff it should be in a city, like it should be in the city, right? I mean, Virginia. What's like? I guess Richmond is the city. Like,
No, it's not gonna be in Richmond.
is there
It's
a
gonna be
downtown Virginia? Like,
It's
like
it's
you know
gonna
what I'm
be
saying?
like near Dulles, like the airport, somewhere around there if it does happen. Because Richmond's like hours away from just like where I live, and that's Northern Virginia. So Loudon is definitely a possibility, like Brandon said. But I honestly think it'll probably be maybe Northern Virginia. I don't know.
I mean,
It's
it has to
hard
be
to get
Washington D.C.,
it.
bro.
Yes, I know. That's where I want it to be. I just don't know if it's going to be able to happen. Like, if they're gonna, I don't know. We'll see. That's definitely my top
I
destination. Like,
honestly,
say Washington football team or whatever, Washington Commanders, Washington Redskins. Like, you expect the team to be in
in
Washington.
D.C., yeah, I'm
Like,
about to say. Like
That's what
you
I want.
expect the team to be where it's at. It's like the Giants are in New Jersey. What other teams don't play in their actual the actual setting
Both
or
Giants and Jets, obviously.
Jets? It's
I don't
another.
know. I don't know the other teams. I mean, both.
But does Buffalo? I think Buffalo
Buff.
plays in Buffalo. I don't know. I just know there are multiple teams, not just us or the Giants and Jets, that actually don't play in like their actual city that the name of the team is. And again, I think this is the perfect time that they should be starting to talk about a new stadium. I think like the perfect thing would to be bring out the new name and bring out the stadium at the same time, because it's 2022. A stadium probably takes 2022, 2023, 2024. You know what I'm saying? So maybe not. Maybe probably they'll probably reveal it probably the 2024 offseason if they do get a new stadium. Because I was gonna say like it takes about 3-4 years to build a stadium. But if you do that now, like January, and who's to say they start right now? But I was just saying, if you do 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, that's 4 years from now. So like still gonna be in FedEx Field. I mean, and I guess it could sit, done for 2 years. But again, I'm just looking at how the LA Chargers and Rams did their
Yeah.
stadium. I don't think that happens. But again, I think, yeah, I agree with you, man. I think it needs to be in DC. It needs to be in the city. It needs to be in. No offense to you, Virginia fans, but it needs to be in the heart of this fan base. The heart of this fan base is in DC. Like
Yeah.
DC and PG County is the heart of this fan base. It's a lot of Virginia fans, don't get me wrong, but again, the heart of this fan base is in Washington D.C. So
I
I
agree.
think it needs to be where the name of the
And the
team.
name, yeah, the name is Washington, so that's where it should be. So yeah, and real quick, I agree with you guys on the railing thing, and more importantly, like none of the national media is saying anything about this, and I'm not gonna be like I'm not gonna be defending the actual franchise all the time, but like those railings weren't even like those were actually like not even like permanent things, like they're just supposed to be there temporarily, like you're able to take them out and in because it's for it's there to be wheelchair accessible so people can get in and out on their wheelchairs. So those people were obviously not supposed to be there. Like they were not supposed to be there at all because yeah, they were just not supposed to be there, and that's security's fault. That's still on the franchise. The security should not let those people there, but still, I don't think like it's as big of a deal as it is because those guys should never have been there. But yeah, now let's get into real quick, maybe 5 minutes, preview this game real quick. I think we're gonna win this game. Giants are terrible. Jake Fromm is terrible. I want to shut them out. Like I want to. I'll give a quick like. I don't really have like an exact score prediction, but I think we're gonna win. Like I'm gonna go 21 to like 6, something like that. 21 to 6, maybe 24 to like 9 or something. Something like that. I feel like we're going to beat them by a
Yeah.
decent amount. And let's get into some guys that we want to see. And like Brian said, Juan's going to be streaming the game today. So make sure you guys come through the stream. I might be coming during halftime. So catch me there. Going to be around
Like
2,
2:30
2:30,
ish. Yeah,
something like
like
that. So make sure you guys are there. Should be fun. But some guys I want to see. Some guys I want to see ball out today. I want to see John Bates get more opportunities. He's looking really good. He's one of my favorite players right now. I need to see Terry get. That's the number one goal today. Terry
exactly. Thank
Horn
you.
get 40 yards. If he does not end off the season with 1,000 yards, I'm gonna riot. Scott Turner,
God.
Taylor Heineke. I mean, oh, I'm gonna be mad, but he better get 1,000+ yards. So that's the number one priority. That's what I want to see. I want to see De'Ami Brown get more opportunities. I do want to see him get more opportunities. And Doug, John Bates did not sell. He got tripped up. So I mean, it's not really like his fault. You get tripped up, you're gonna fall. Probably should have been, pass interference. But even then, it wasn't a great throw. So
You might
I'm
just
not
say
gonna
you shouldn't even throw it.
yeah.
He got John Bates didn't sell. He got tripped up one. First of all, Taylor Heineke shouldn't have thrown that ball in the first place. Like that's one thing that like he should have just rolled out, threw it away, live fight another day. But hey,
Yeah.
man, you know, what I'm saying no. Go ahead. What you saying?
Yeah, and yeah, John Bates. I don't know. Duck says John Bates is the reason we can't make the playoffs. John,
Hell no.
in all the reasons, of us not making the playoffs, John Bates might be like reason like 300. Like, there's so many. I mean, you might be saying like in that specific game, maybe,
Hell no.
but
In that
I mean,
specific game,
yeah,
and
but
that's
that wasn't even his fault. John
yeah,
Bates, he tripped up. That game more was, in my opinion, a little bit of Scott Turner.
exactly.
The
That's the reason why we
yeah,
didn't make the
the
playoffs.
defense on 4th and goal, they didn't stop Philly once. They got 2 4th and goal conversions.
Mhm.
But yeah, I want to see John Bates ball out. I want to see De'Ami Brown get more opportunities. Like De'Ami Brown should be getting like I want him to get like at least 3 targets in this game. Like the last couple games, he got 1 target. Let's get
Mhm.
more targets in this game. Get Cam Sims a little bit more opportunity, even Dax Milne. And then on defense, Jamin Davis, like you said, needs to be playing all snaps, playing my middle linebacker a little bit.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's really the guys I want to see. How about you?
Yeah, so let me start by saying this first. Watch This Is the Game. I already can see it. Watch This Is the Game where Scott Turner starts going in his bag, pulling out trick plays, calling up great combinations of routes. Watch This Is the Game he does that. And then we're going to be sitting here and saying, when was this all season long? Why are you waiting to literally the last game of the season to do this? Watch, I already know how it is. Scott Turner, man, I defended him so much, man. Like I literally stuck my chest out for this guy, man, and this is how he does me, man. Again, they're not going to do it, but if they do it, man, I'm not surprised at all if they get rid of Scott Turner. But you said 3 targets for De'Ami, man. This game literally doesn't matter. Just chuck it
Yeah.
up every play. Like literally, just throw it up every play. Play backyard football. This literally doesn't matter today. I seen another guy that say he wants AG to get 1,000 yards today. Not happening. He's at 891. I mean, the guy's gonna have to go for over like 130 yards to reach 1,000. Again, De'Ami is outside of Terry getting 1,000 yards. Like again, I'm with you, bro. Like if Terry doesn't get 42 yards, I'm literally going to come up here and scream my lungs out. Because like, why are you not giving him 1,000 yards? 42 yards is literally can happen in one play. But no, besides Terry, I need De'Ami Brown to get some targets. I need more than 3 targets for De'Ami Brown. Again, this game really doesn't matter, so you might as well just chuck it up. You know what I'm saying? This is literally the game to not go with the game plan. Watch
And
this is the game they just run the ball. What are you saying?
And what I'll say too is like I like Adam Humphries a lot, right? Like he this year made some big plays for us. He really did. But what I'll say is like it really doesn't affect Dion. I mean, it might give him some more snap, but I'll say don't even play Adam Humphries like at all because like we don't like I want us to win, but we don't need to win this game. And I think that and what's up, Hassan Moore? I think that you can get Dax Milne. I want to see Dax Milne a little bit more because, like, in the middle of the season, I was liking what I saw from him. And then they kind of like, once Curtis Samuel came back, they stopped playing him. And the last few weeks, he hasn't really done much. So I want to see Dax Milne get some playing time as well as a slot receiver, kind of replace Adam Humphries because Dax Milne might be one of the receivers we have next year on this roster. Something happened to Juan. I think he was unplugging something. Should be back later, but yeah, I like Dax Milne. Get him some more targets in this game. Let's see. One Live Music, appreciate the $5 donation. Says waste of a game, but we need to beat the brakes off them boys today. Terry and Gibby need to crack 1,000. Gibby can do it. Well, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Let's win this game. I mean, I want us to win so bad, and then Ron just to get just go off on Joe Judge in the press conference. I would love that. I think Terry should easily be able to get over 1,000. Gibson, here's the thing with Gibson. Gibson can do it. He needs 109 yards, but he needs like a big run. Like he needs like a run where it's like, oh, he gets like a breakaway run, and he hasn't been able to do that this year. But it is possible. I'm not going to bet on it, but it's definitely possible. So we'll see. That would be nice to get them both over 1,000. I still like Gibson. I just think he needs another back with him. Could be Patterson, could be Ronald Jones, could be someone else, just to take away some carries. Because Gibson, man, he's just, I mean, there's no other way to put it. He's injury prone. I mean, last year, the toe injury. This year, let's go through all the list of injuries. First off, shoulder injury, I think in week 2. Then the shin injury. Then, that shin injury again. He re-aggravates it. Then a toe injury. And then a hip injury, all in the same season. He only missed one game, and it was because of the virus, but still. I mean, Gibson is just not a back, in my opinion, right now, that can play in a 17-game season and get 20-plus carries in every game. So, just as an insurance, get someone like Ronald Jones, or it could be Patterson, to not, I don't need these guys to get 10-plus carries in the game. But we didn't have a running back this year that was consistently getting 5 to 10 carries, right? McKissick was getting a few carries. But you can get someone like Patterson or Ronald Jones. I know you want Patterson to get 7, 8 plus, 7 to 10 carries in a game. Yeah. Take some of that heat off of Gibson and save him for the later part of the season. That's my opinion right there. But Gibson, regardless, he's already over 1,000 scrimmage yards, which is good. And if he would have played last week, he would have gone over 1,000. But he's going to be motivated today, and it is a meaningless game. So I think Scott Turner will be kind of knowing stats, and he'll be like, okay, let's get our guys to 1,000. Yeah, that will happen. So let's get into. I think we both think we're going to win. Now let's get into real quick our NFL predictions for this week, and you guys can ask some questions in the chat as well. Duck says Matt Ryan for quarterback next year. It could happen. Again, for me to be okay with Matt Ryan or Jameis Winston, I need us to draft a quarterback in the first round, and we could do that, sit him behind Matt Ryan or Jameis Winston. I think it's the best of two worlds, because then we're still competitive in that game or in the season, but we also develop Kenny Pickett, Matt Corral, any of those.
No.
Guys. So I like Kenny Pickett. I think he's my number one. I'm debating him and Matt Corral, but I like Pickett a lot.
No. Before we get into the picks, I want to talk about AG right quick, and then the quarterbacks. Here's my thing with Matt Corral. I'm not saying that he's not good. He's just he looks like Baker Mayfield. He's injury prone. He's small. He's 6 foot. We already got that with Taylor Heineke. I'm not saying Matt Corral is Taylor Heineke as far as skill wise. I'm talking about size, stature, and stuff like that. He's small, man. He's 6 foot. You know what I'm saying? Barely can see over the offensive line kind of guy. I don't want that. The reason why I like Kenny Pickett so much, he's 6'3", almost 6'4". He's a 5-year starter. Who does that remind you of? Joe Burrow. I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Joe Burrow, but a 5-year guy that's in an NFL scheme at Pittsburgh, I like that a lot, man. He's groomed. He's literally groomed. He's coming in. He's going to be 24 at the start of next year. And again, that's a guy that you can put in right away. Matt Corral, Malik Willis, especially Malik Willis. Carson Strong maybe is another guy that could possibly come in and start right away. But all these guys, they're besides Kenny Pickett. I think honestly, off the top of my head right now, Kenny Pickett is the only guy that can come in here and start day one just because he's a 5th-year starter, a senior at Pittsburgh. So I just like Kenny Pickett a lot, man. I really hope we get him. He's my favorite. I already followed him on Instagram, and it's hard for me to follow players. You know what I'm saying? You gotta really be good to me. And the fake slide, oh my god, don't get me started, man.
Yeah, I like him. I think obviously we got to watch more film on these guys. We got more time now since the off season's over, but I definitely like Kenny Pickett. Matt Corral, I mean, I like him. He also has experience, but I think Kenny Pickett is the most NFL ready quarterback. He'll have at least a Mac Jones season where he'll be decent because he's more NFL ready. So let's go into these NFL predictions. And real quick, guys, make sure you guys sub up to both of us. Juan posts great content. Going to be live streaming the game, like we said earlier. I'll be there at halftime, and then also follow my Twitter, link in the description. I'm trying to get that to 1,000 followers soon, and just follow me on there. I do some I post some, crazy stats on there, stuff like that. You guys can DM me as well. So now let's get into our NFL predictions for this week.
First,
Me and Juan yesterday, we both picked the Chiefs. I picked the Cowboys. He picked the Eagles. Now the NFL schedule. First game, Washington Giants. I'm going Washington for sure.
yeah, no, I'm going Washington. But I picked the Eagles because I thought, Jalen Hurts was going to play. And this is my philosophy. I was going to pick the Eagles this week for them to win. And I thought the Cowboys were going to lose, obviously. And then I think next week the Cowboys are going to beat the Cardinals in the playoffs just because, that I don't see no way they could win 2 times in a row. It's in Arizona though. No, it's gonna be in Dallas. So I don't see no way Kyler Murray could go back to Texas and win twice in the span of a month. And a lot of people are saying this comment isn't going to age well if they play in the playoffs. So that's what I was thinking. But now that Dallas won, I think Cardinals may win next week if they still match up. But we'll get to that when that time comes. But no, I pick Washington too. I think it's going to be a boring game, man. I think it's going to be like a 14-3. I just think it's gonna be a boring game. So give me Washington. Oh,
all right.
Before we move on, Broncos just fired Vic Fangio. So just to let you guys know.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. And let's see. Next game, Browns Bengals. I'll go Browns on this one. How about you?
Joe Burrow. They're resting Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase.
If Baker's out, no, Jamar Chase is playing. Baker is out. Joe Burrow is out, and I think a few other Bengal players are out.
Yeah. But first, I know they own Dallas. Like he's undefeated in Texas through high school, college, and the pros, obviously. But at some point, a record has to get broken, right? And this is going to be Kyler Murray's debut in the playoffs. Am I right? They didn't make it last year. They make it. That's going to be his debut. He has to go on a road to face Dallas, but we'll get there. We'll get there next week, guys. We'll get there next week when we talk about playoff picks. But no, who is the better backup? I know Brandon Allen is the
Keenum is
Bengals
the
backup,
Browns.
right? Bengals backup is Brandon Allen. Case Keenum is the. Give me Bengals. Give me Bengals.
All right. And you guys also in the chat put that your picks there. I'll read them as well. So Ravens, Steelers. I'll go Ravens on this one. I think they still have a shot to make the playoffs.
So does the
Steelers do as well, but Lamar is not playing, which does make it interesting. But I think I'm still gonna go with the Ravens on this one.
Yeah, hey Doug. Hopefully the Cowboys and Eagles choke in the playoffs. Who are the Cowboys gonna play? I mean, the Eagles gonna play. They're gonna play the two.
I think here's the thing. Here's why the Cowboys. Like you look at Mike McCarthy, he's just like a buffoon. Like he is such a bad clock manager.
Who's the 2 seed?
What?
And who's the 2? My bad. I was saying who's the 2? The Bucks or is it the the Rams?
I think it might be the Cowboys, the 2 seed.
Wait, really? I thought they needed to win and then somebody lose to them.
I'm not sure.
2 seeds the Rams. Okay. Yeah, I was right. It was the Rams. So I don't see. First of all, I don't see Philly beating the Rams. But no, go ahead. Finish what you're saying about Mike McCarthy. I agree a lot.
Yeah, he's such a bad clock manager. And guys, here's the reason why Washington could still be competitive next year in the division. I feel like Kellen Moore and Dan Quinn might leave. And Dan Quinn is the reason they're obviously they've got playmakers there, but a lot of those playmakers were there last year. The defensive coordinator could just not use him. Obviously, they added Micah Parsons, who's still going to ball out next year, but they're going to have a new defensive coordinator likely. They might, and that could change things. Obviously, they're not going to be as bad as they were with Mike Nolan, but they're not going to be as good as they were with Dan Quinn, and Kellen Moore is leaving. I think both of those guys, they might leave. Both of those guys are better than Mike McCarthy, as I would rather have him as a head coach than Mike McCarthy.
Let me say this first. Dan Quinn, they talked about it yesterday. He isn't going anywhere. Again, maybe. But he said he wants to be a defensive coordinator. So maybe next year he may consider getting back to head coaching.
I saw something today. I think it was from Rapport. I can't remember which team, but that he was one of the front runners for I think it was the Broncos. Actually, it was the Broncos. So we'll see. We'll see.
But no, Duck. We are doing playoff predictions next week for the playoffs and the Super Bowl when that week. Like, nothing's changing. It's gonna be the same how we're like doing this. But yeah. So no, I was just gonna say Dan Quinn isn't going anywhere. I think Dan Quinn stays as the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys next year. If anything, he may leave next year to be a head coach, but he wants to stay in Dallas. Kellen Moore is really intriguing. I honestly think, although I hate the Cowboys, I think Kellen Moore may be a good fit for Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. I think if you pair Kellen Moore with Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville, that would be really, really good. I've seen a lot of people talk about Byron Leftwich too with Trevor Lawrence, but I think Kellen Moore should be the front runner for Jacksonville. And he had an interview with him yesterday or the day before yesterday, Friday, I think. I think he would be a really good fit for Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. So that's my take on the Cowboys. Hopefully they get worse next year and we somehow could jump them and win a division. But hey, man, hopefully they choke in the playoffs. Playoffs just like the Eagles.
And Santiago Trudell, appreciate the $5 donation. Says we need our own QB if Ron is going to stay our coach, not nobody else's ex's problem. New name, new logo, and new culture deserves a new QB for our own identity. And I agree. I mean, like, of course, if we can get like a bit, like if Russell Wilson and like Deshaun Watson, if he does get cleared, those are my like only exceptions. If not, and maybe Derek Carr, but like there's still, and like everyone talks about how bad of a quarterback class is. Like people were talking about that year with the Trubisky, Mahomes, and Watson class. Like that was a bad quarterback class. And Watson and Mahomes are both like just amazing quarterbacks right now. Or yeah, I mean, Watson still is. He's just not playing. But I agree. Draft a guy, develop him. You don't necessarily need to start him right away. But I agree. You're moving. It's a new chapter. And Ron, I think he does want it. He will probably want to develop his own guy. I appreciate that donation. And hey, I saw your comment. I remember you talking about this before the draft. Big ups to Bobby Brown the third, my nephew, and the LA Rams for the number 2 seed. Hey, that's super, super cool. And yeah, I mean the Rams have they've got a good shot. I mean, Matthew Stafford's got to clean some things up, but the D line's been playing really good. The defense in general, Jalen Ramsey's been punching teammates. But I like their defense, and the offense. They got they lost Robert Woods obviously for the season, but Odell's been playing really well. Van Jefferson's a big play threat, so I like the Rams. And if they got the number 2 seed, they have a shot this year. They definitely do. Appreciate the donation, man. And yeah, that's super, super cool. Your nephew is on the.
Yeah, that's what
I remember you talking about that. I remember you talking about that before the draft last year, or this past year. Yeah. That's really cool. Appreciate the donation. Let's see. What we were on the we both picked the Ravens, I think, right?
No, I picked the Steelers.
Okay, you picked the Steelers. Okay, Packers, Lions, kind of a meaningless game, but I'm gonna go Packers on this one.
Not meaningless. I think Aaron Rodgers playing because aren't they trying to get that number 1 seed?
They already clinched that. They clinched
the 1 seed.
They want to get to 14-3 though, because they've gone to 13-3 the last few years and haven't won, so they want to get a 14.
Yeah, I don't. And well, now that I know that they clinched the number 1 seed, then they're probably not gonna play A-Rod.
Aaron Rodgers is still playing though.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, give me Packers.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
He's still playing at least for a little bit, so I'm picking Packers on this one. Colts, Jaguars. I'm gonna go Colts. No. I'm going Colts, but I saw a stat saying that they haven't won in Jacksonville in 7 years, which is just crazy because Jacksonville has been terrible. Probably the worst team in the NFL the last 7 years, except for the 1 year they went to the AFC Championship.
I want the Jags to win just because I want Pittsburgh to go to the playoffs. I just want Pittsburgh to go to the playoffs so Ben Roethlisberger can have this storybook ending. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tomlin, one of the greatest head coaches ever. This guy, I think he had like what was it? I forgot the stat I saw, but the guy literally hasn't finished under 500 in some time now, and it's like a ridiculous stat. I think I wanted to say ever, but I wasn't sure. Mike Tomlin is amazing, man. We need more guys like Mike Tomlin. But no, Give me Jags, man. I'm doing it. I'm
All
doing
right.
it. Give me Jags. Give me Jags, man. Jags with the upset. Um, I would
All right.
love to see Jonathan Taylor in the playoffs, but again, I would much rather have Ben Roethlisberger go out with a storybook ending. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or how can the Ravens get in? The Ravens, I think they get swept by the Steelers this year, or
I
they
don't
get
know. They have a little bit of a higher chance because I think they're 8-7 right now. I'm not sure.
no, they're 8-8. The Bengals, I mean, the
8-8.
eight are
Yeah.
8, and the Steelers are 8-7-1.
Oh, so
So
never mind. Yeah.
yeah, give me Jags though, man. I really want Big Ben to get a storybook ending, man.
Yeah. Okay. So next pick, Bears and Vikings. I'm gonna go Vikings on this one. They don't have a chance to make the playoffs, but I'm gonna go Vikings. It's in Minnesota. And I don't think Justin Fields is playing, which doesn't really matter. But
Yeah,
I'm going Vikings.
I'm going Vikings too. Justin Fields on the COVID list, which yeah, it doesn't matter. But no, Jags. Did you pick the Jags too or the Colts?
Colts.
Colts, okay.
And then the next game, Titans, Texans. I'm going Titans. They're still playing for the number 1 seed because the Chiefs did win. So they got to win the game. So I will go Titans on this game.
Yeah, me too. Titans both.
All right, next game. This is a good one. Saints, Falcons. I think the Saints still have don't they? Aren't they still alive in the playoffs, or is it?
Yeah, I think the only way they can get in is the 6 seed though, because the Eagles have the 7 seed locked up because they obviously won their head to head. So the only way they win is if the 49ers lose and they win, I guess. I think. So yeah, they do. Give me
I'll go Saints.
Yeah, I was gonna say go Saints too.
Um,
Though, but I don't know. I just don't trust their quarterback play, man. But yeah, give me Saints.
yeah, I'm gonna go Saints on this one. Next game is Seahawks, Cardinals. Cardinals are still playing for seeding, so I will go Cardinals.
I don't know. This could be Russell Wilson's last game. I don't know if it's in Seattle or not, but as a Seahawk, and he
It's
may be putting some good
it's
tape
in
out for.
Arizona.
Oh, okay, he may be putting some good tape out for future teams to see. So maybe it could be an upset. I'm going Seattle.
All right, all right. Next game is Jets, Bills. That's honestly like that could be a game the Bills like blow. Have they clinched? I think they have, right?
No, they Patriots and they have the same record. So if the Patriots win, the Bills lose, they get the AFC East. But if vice versa, if the Bills win, Patriots lose, they get the AFC. So
I'm gonna go Bills on this one.
yeah, I'm gonna go Bills too.
Some reason they're 16-point favorites, which is crazy. Next game, Panthers, Bucks. I'll go Bucks on this one.
Yeah, I'll go Bucks too.
Next game is Patriots at Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are still in it, right? They still have like a shot, right? Because they're what are they?
No, the Dolphins are out the playoffs.
They're out.
Yeah.
What's their record? Are they 8-8?
Yeah, but but they already got put out last week when they lost.
Yeah. They lost. They don't have the tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go.
I'm about Patriots, man, because the Patriots are trying to get that AFC East.
Yeah, I'll go Patriots.
So I'm gonna go Patriots, bro. Yeah.
All right, 49ers, Rams. What are you going on this one?
Rams already clinched the number 1. No, not the number 1. They have the number 2 seed. I don't know because if like you said that they said the Packers already clinched the number 1. So is it a point for the Rams to play?
Depending on the matchup, I guess. I'll go 49ers on this one.
I wanted to go Niners too. Because the Niners trying to get that 6 seed, man.
Kyle Shanahan owns Sean McVay, so I'm going 49ers.
I'm going Rams. I'm gonna go Rams. I think this is how it's. I think the Rams are gonna win. I think the Saints are gonna win, and somehow, even though the Saints without a quarterback find a way to get in the playoffs. So hey, give me Rams, man. I'm just a person, if y'all don't know, that likes upsets, man. I like.
All
upsets.
right, let's try to finish this up quick because I know you got to get on your stream in a sec. Chargers, Raiders. Who you going here?
This is for the
Sunday night.
No, this is for what, the 6th seed or the 7th? This is for
I
the
think.
6th.
And the weird thing is, if the Colts lose to the Jags, what these two teams could do, it won't happen. But they legit could just kneel out the whole game, and they both would get in. A tie gets them both in. Like they could just do that.
Wow. Hold on. So I'm getting Rams. You said you're getting the 49ers, right?
Yeah, that'll be
Oh
my upset.
man. Oh, I don't. This is about to be the best game of the week, man. Because this is what, like, realistically, I know that can happen, but realistically, this is for the 6th seed. Oh man, I want to go with Chargers, but I don't know if I trust them, man.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Ooh, Darren Waller playing?
Yeah.
Where is this at?
It is at Las Vegas.
Ooh.
But you know all the fans travel because it's Las Vegas. They want to go to Vegas. So.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, either way it goes, it's a home game for the Raiders. Because I mean, the Chargers have no home fans. Like, they're literally playing every game on the road. I trust Justin Herbert. Oh man, it's just a matter of who defense isn't going to suck the worst, or which defense is going to suck the less. Because both defenses aren't the best. Give me Raiders, man.
I'm going Raiders too. I have a feeling Justin Herbert is going to be on the outside looking into the playoffs. I just have a feeling there. Derek Carr is super clutch, like Duck said. So I'm going to go Raiders. So that is our NFL picks for the week. We got 9-10 minutes.
Regular season.
Yep. Got 10 minutes till game day. Me and Juan had a bunch of different picks today, so it should be interesting. Has been one hell of a season. We still got playoffs to talk about and stuff, but I'm excited for this offseason. I really am. Honestly, like, I love seeing these guys play, but I love the offseason too because it gets my creative juices flowing. Like, on what, like, I love just like doing these hypotheticals. Like, oh, I want the team to do this and that. So yeah, it did go by fast. I'm gonna miss seeing these guys play every Sunday, despite how mad it gets me, how sad it gets me. My heart rate goes up like in that game. But yeah, I think Washington wins this game. Darius says to do a prediction. I'll say 24-9.
I say it's gonna be a low scoring, boring game. Give me Washington 10-14-10.
All right. Thanks for coming on, Juan. Appreciate it.
See you next week for the playoffs.
See ya.
Or see you at halftime, actually.
Yeah. Send me